Hey, so this is the final video for CIS 5 for its final project. And this is the thing where it just basically wants us to create something. So it says, hey, congratulations. Thank you for making it this far into the class. The last thing you're going to need to do is just basically do structures, if else, print out statements, user input, display input, loops, arrays, functions, pointers, and reference. And yeah, for me, what I did is that I use a Pokemon team manager to basically just look at all this. Now I include all of this part, IO stream, IO string, citislib, ctime, input output, string values. Basically this is gonna all be for randomness for every single run. Using namespace std so I don't have to have the right std for the entire time. And then basically this is to define that team size is gonna equal sys. Now, this is gonna be for saying, hey, so if we're trying to like define a Pokemon, this is what the first value is going to be, this is what the second value is, this is what the first variable is going to be, and then the value is going to go with it. Second variable is going to be this, and then it's going to continue on for this whole thing. And then this is just to declare all the functions beforehand, and then we're going to use it up later. These are going to be pointers. This is going to be the struct's name, and then this is going to be constant because we're just basically going to print the stats. And this is going to be a reference name for Pokemon. It's just a different name, basically. So this is going to be the main part of the code, and this is going to be the randomness generator for seeing the randomness generator. And remember when I said over here, we're going to use this over here to just basically define this whole thing. It's all zeros because we're going to use the randomness for all their stats to be random within this for loop. Now, within this do loop, it's going to print up the whole screen, the whole menu screen, and it's going to give the user options to input. I use a switch case, so I don't have to use all this if else statements, and I just basically say, hey, if you input 1, we're going to take it to this function. If you input 2, we're going to take it to this function, and so on and so forth. If it enters 5, then you go bye-bye. But if you enter anything that's below 1 or greater than 5, then it's going to be an invalid choice, and it's going to loop back all the way up over here. Oh yeah, if it enters 5, it returns 0. Now, let's look at the first function. If I inputted 1, right, it's going to take us to view team. So, remember how I said back over there? Within this, the parameters is going to be the Pokemon team, this is going to be the pointer, and then this is basically going to be the size of it. So the size was 6, right? Basically, this is going to print up the Pokemon team, and then for the for loop, for size, n was equal to 0, the I would be less than 6, but then it would also increment by 1. It's going to print out all the team's elements. So it's going to print out this first thing, it's going to print out second, so on and so forth. That's what it's going to do. So yeah, the pointer just basically points up to the first element, the address of the first element, and then within that for loop, it's going to go on and so forth for that whole entire thing. Now, strongest Pokemon and weakest Pokemon, same thing, but basically over here within the struct name and then Pokemon team for that pointer, it's basically just going to refer back all the way up over here, just like what I said with this part, and then boom. Now, this is going to also be acting as a pointer for it being the strongest, and this is going to be a reference team for the address of the first element being Pikachu. Now, basically what it says is that strongest is thinking that the strongest is containing the value of Pikachu, because we're assuming that Pikachu is the strongest one for now, until we compare it to the other Pokemon. In that for loop, we're going to access the team element for the class portion, for structure portion of attack. So remember how I said over here, it's going to be attack. So then it's going to referring back to the second int value. And then we're just gonna basically just compare all of it, and then it's gonna look up the basically this reference thing. It's gonna be the address for the element, which then is gonna be the strongest one. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Basically, what this does is that it's gonna just equal. It's gonna basically get the value of which one from this is gonna equal. So remember how I said if Pikachu was the strongest one so far? Let's say Blastoise is the strongest one, and now strongest equals the whole thing for Blastoise, and then it's gonna say print the strongest one for the pointer, and then it's gonna be Blastoise. Same thing over here, but this one it looks for the weakest one, and if they find a, and now let's say Pikachu is the weakest one, it's gonna print out, hey, Pikachu is the weakest Pokemon, and then boom. Now, for search Pokemon, we're actually gonna declare a variable in this, and then it's gonna take character in, and it's gonna print out the available Pokemon. So it's gonna print up all the names from the element, and it's gonna refer back all the way over here to these parts of the values, and it's gonna print it all out, and then it's gonna take whatchamacallit, input in, and if it does equal it, it's gonna be Pokemon found, and it's gonna print out that specific. It's gonna print out the entire stats and the Pokemon itself. However, if it doesn't, then Pokemon's not found. And for void print stats, it's basically just gonna reference the thing for Pokemon, and then it's gonna print out the entire stats. It's gonna print out the whole thing for every single Pokemon. Alright, so print stats. Alright, let's run the thing, shall we? Oh yeah, that was already previously run. So let's try. Okay, we're still doing good. Now let's take these for a test run. Sorry. Anyways, I'm sorry. Let's run it real quick. Sorry if it's taking a while. Alright. Pokemon Team Manager. Let's view team. Boom. Prints out the entire thing. Let's look at the strongest one. So that means the strongest Pokemon on the team is going to be Lucario. The weakest Pokemon on the team is going to be Dragonite. And then let's search for each Pokemon. Let's see. Pikachu, Charizard, Blastoise, Gengar, Lucario, Dragonite. Let's look at Gengar. And then those are the stats. Pokemon was found. And if we exit, should say bye bye. Alright. Well, that's for the final. Oh, well, sorry. Alright. Thank you so much for watching this video.